we've always had a slumlord problem. We've always had been under police occupation. Gentrification is just heightened. We've always had a struggle around affordable housing in New York City. Gentrification has just made that, like, you know, intensify in an almost violent, not even almost, I mean like completely violent, I mean where people like literally, you come home and there's a hole in your floor. And the landlord has gone in and ripped up the floorboards and said, oh my goodness, we were doing major capital repairs. Oh, you didn't want your floorboards ripped up? I'm so sorry. And they then don't fix it for like 3-4 months. So you're an elder, you've had your apartment for 30, 40 years, 20 years, and they won't, you pay with a money order. You can't prove, you know, once they've hoarded the checks, they say they take you to court for non-payment. You can't prove, you have to go back and like try to figure out how you're going to prove a money order. You can say, here's my receipt for the money. He said, well, that doesn't prove that you sent it to your landlord. Well, I hand it to the super. The super can attest that. Well, that's the super's job. Is he going to come in court and testify for you, or he's going to lose his job? If you look over there, there are people in our community that drive vans that help support this community in so many ways. So the MTA, if you take a picture of any of the big buses, that's the one coming down, and that's maybe the point, is that this is one of the densest populated neighborhoods in all of Brooklyn. We have, you know, transit system that does not support the community because there's just a limited amount of buses. So we could be standing there and you'll see 3 buses come down and they're packed to the gills. So we have dollar van drivers that drive, and actually we've been able to document and prove that they provide, their service that they provide to our community takes off 35 to 40 minutes on our commutes. That there's a high percentage, a very like large percentage of the people that take dollar vans have unlimited Metro cards. So on top of already spending like $113, you then spend, I don't know, what is that, 2 times 7 or 4 times 7 more a week in your income. What is that, $14 or $28 more each week, you know, in addition on your travel, because these are actually better services for us. Like there are times we are trapped and there's the train does not really, you know, is down. Dollar vans, thank goodness. The dollar van drivers are under attack. People want them out of our neighborhood. These are men, primarily men from the Caribbean, who live in this neighborhood, that work in this neighborhood. These are our family members. These are our fathers, our brothers, our sisters that are feeding their families, and they're being ticketed and harassed by the NYPD. $600 to $1,000 a month is sometimes what people get. But that's not just the dollar van drivers. The entire community, it lives under checkpoint. We were literally, I was on an MTA bus. We saw like the entire bus like rose up in like sort of like a frenzy of like what happened, and also angry and outraged that we were being criminalized in this way, that this huge massive checkpoint, and if you go to our Tumblr page you can see the pictures of it. It was just an incredible like assault on our community to have that many cops in one intersection. But we go through this every single year. The Caribbean Day Parade, over 1,000 cops will be up. Got a whole story. We have people that told a story about the fact that they're in an interracial relationship. I just texted him actually. The man is Puerto Rican, and his partner, female partner, is a white woman, and they're separated. And the typical thing that happens: "Are you okay, miss? Is everything okay?" And then, you know, they're issuing him a ticket. I don't know why, because he's partnered with a white woman, and who knows? But they're walking through Prospect Park. And she's angry because she's like, you're like ticketing my partner for nothing. We are walking through the park. No one's drinking anything. No one's smoking anything. No one's doing anything, quote unquote, illegal. But they're an interracial couple in a park thing. We are an immigrant-based neighborhood. We are largely, you know, Caribbean English speaking, but we're also and again, with the understanding of whether or not people are documented, even if they speak English, doesn't matter. We're still immigrants. But then the other piece of it is we're largely Haitian. We're incredibly Mexican, and other like Latin American countries. We're incredibly South Asian. Oh my goodness, we went further over. There's a huge South Asian community, but up and down this block, there's South Asian families. We're new immigrants. This is still a bastion of new folks that have only lived in the United States for a short period of time, as well as people that have been here for 40 years. Absolutely. It's a mix of both. And I think that's the thing. The landlords are preying on that. But that's true for Brooklyn in so many ways. I mean, it's true for Brooklyn for white immigrants as well. There are a new Irish community. We do our flyers in 6 languages. Russian, again, even though the Russian community's been here a long time, there's still lots of folks, especially elders, who don't speak English. So the gym culture piece, I mean, it's like Planet Fitness, 24-hour fitness. Everybody is flocking to be in Flatbush. But it's making me fun because there's a whole new wave. Watch this over here. Of new people that have new influx of people that have come into the neighborhood, and so the gentrification. As I said about, it starts to cater to folks that have higher incomes. Now, Blink is only like a $20 a month gym. It's not, some high-end craziness, but it is with the understanding that a student could have probably afforded that, right? There seems to be controversy of whether or not this place is going to be sold or continue to be here. And we're still trying to figure, some of this stuff out. But this is a perfect example of things in our neighborhood that we find are precious and important and we want to keep and not have sold to developers or force people out. So then as we hit this intersection, you'll start to see that there are more white people that are more younger or middle class, and that they have renamed our neighborhood. And so this is still all Flatbush. It's a neighborhood in Flatbush. Here you go, my brother. Called Prospects Lovers Garden. That's a landmarked area. It's only a couple blocks. They have been renamed further down. It's way down the block. They have renamed our neighborhood Prospect Lovers Garden. So you're not on camera. We say if you need 3 or 4 people to live in your apartment, sister, can I give you a flyer? Not on camera. If you need 3 or 4 people to live in an apartment in New York City, then you're one of us. If you come to our meetings, if you're down to fight with us, you're a new resident in the neighborhood, then you're with us. We use the word gentrifier for the people who won't take our flyers, but with the understanding that we hold people accountable. Because if you are going to move to a new neighborhood, and again, if you're there because it's affordable rent, then what kind of responsibility are you taking in the neighborhood to ensure, so for instance, if you're being overcharged for your rent, are you clear about the fact that people are being pushed out? And you being overcharged for your rent means that rent stabilized apartment is going to continue to increase. So we say fight for a rent reduction because you're keeping the apartment low for everybody. We say fight for a rent reduction because that then ensures whatever trickery they're doing to tenants that have been there a long time, that they know that you're in the struggle too. And now who wants to be overcharged for an apartment to begin with? Let's be real. But it also then signals to the landlords, because we have new tenants that are being wined and dined by their landlords and doing a divide and conquer. Well, don't worry, we're going to get them out of the building soon. And you can move your friends in. Oh, I'll do this. We have people that are actually literally being harassed, told things like, I want you to get this tenant leader out. So make all these 311 complaints against them, and I'll charge you less for your rent. Eventually, they'll kick them out too. And we have people that now live in East Flatbush who were in Bedford-Stuyvesant, and the landlords were like, you're 6 of you living in a house, and mostly white folks. You're all living in a house together. That's cute. But we can get more money, top dollar for Bed-Stuy, and so we're going to push you out, and they end up in East Flatbush. Because again, that's what happened to Williamsburg. We talked about Williamsburg as a famous sort of I ode to what happens with gentrification. It was cute and hipster and artists and all that stuff, and it was a Latino neighborhood when I moved there. It was a place that we clubbed as black and brown people. It's always been a working class, Jewish, Latino and black neighborhood, right? And so then it was like, oh, it's the place to live, and new white folks are moving in, and young, and blah, blah, blah. Now they can't play all of that coffee shop stuff. I am so sorry. Could I give you a flyer? So MySpace New York, this is a really important. They're a huge predatory real estate developer. I mean, well, they are. They're both. They're a developer, but they do rentals. And they do rentals in a way that exploit younger people, where you don't even like choose your own roommates. They say, oh, you want to live in a neighborhood like Prospect, Lefferts Garden, Flatbush? We'll charge you like, I don't know, $1,300 each of you for this room. Like, they're completely predatory. Arrows, I used to live on this block actually. I used to live right in that apartment. When I first came into this apartment, I think in this building right here, I think my rent was like, wow, what did I pay? I probably paid under $900 for a studio apartment. So this is 626 Flatbush. This is, so two things. One, this is a 23-story building. You can see the picture right here. This is a 23-story building that is going to be mostly all luxury housing. All mostly studio apartments and one-bedroom apartments. They're all going to be, so the starting rate for a studio apartment is $1,187. $2,000 for a studio apartment. $4,000 for a two-bedroom. But with the understanding that it's mostly one studio apartment, one bedrooms and studio apartments that are not going towards families. Most of us, myself included, do not even pay $2,000 for a two-bedroom in this neighborhood. The average median income of this neighborhood is under $39,000 a year. No one could afford a $2,000 bedroom. They say there are going to be some affordable units, but the way that right now the average median income is done in New York City is done on the basis that they're looking at Westchester County, which is a much richer area, to like, you know, South Bronx. And we're all combined. And what we say in the Brooklyn Anti-Gentrification Network is that average median income should be determined by neighborhood. So my neighborhood is $39,000. We can't afford it and have this average median income understanding of $60,000 to $80,000. That's not what the people in this neighborhood like make. So we can't even get affordable, if this is so-called a few affordable units in this building, it's still that you have to make $60,000 a year to be able to rent in this building in your own neighborhood.